Nasport 10. Now, we would have loved to make bread from this particular variety, but because it's still new, it's not yet on the market. What now we want to do is to, in our next phase, is to make sure that we empower farmers so that they can produce this variety in large quantities, so that we can be able to get raw materials for making all these products. See, this one is high in the carotenoids. It's also high in the dry matter. It's very high in the starch content, which can make all the products that we have been talking about, including alcohol, which can be used for making sanitizers, for the industrial use, or even can be consumed, by human beings.
How will this help us if we substitute some of the wheat with the sweet potatoes? We'll be promoting the import substitution and, of course, increasing the value of our locally produced products. So what we have been doing here as scientists, we have analyzed the form in which our sweet potato can be produced to make a perfect substitution for the confectionery products. We have come up with the purees. That is one of the form that we have come up with, and this is the puree made from Nasport 10. This is the orange fresh sweet potato. But we also have other varieties which are indigenous in Uganda, like the NPK 136. This one you can call it the yellow or the normal chipapari that we consume in Uganda. We have also produced the puree from it, but we also make flours from these sweet potatoes. Through the analysis that we have done, we have seen that from our sweet potato, if we make a puree out of it, a kilo gives you a yield of 74%, and that is a very good yield and makes economic sense. And for the flours, though it is durable, but the yield is very low and the cost of production is quite high. Actually, for a kilo of sweet potato, we get approximately 25% of the total yield. So we have gone ahead from the puree and the sweet potato flour. We have tried to substitute it into the different confectionery products, ranging from the cakes, the donuts, mandazi, bread, and chapatis. And for all those different products, we have come up with the optimal substitution levels. Currently, the optimal substitution level that we have achieved is with the chapati, where we have 60% of sweet potato replacing the wheat. And then for the cakes, 50% of the wheat is replaced with the sweet potato. And then for the donuts, to have an acceptable product, we make a substitution of 30%. And for the bread, a 20% substitution level. We have done sensory tests to see the acceptability of these products. And we have seen that when we are using the puree, the quality of the bread that we produce and other range of the confectionery products is actually surpassing the products which are produced using 100% wheat flour. So what does this imply? Apparently, we have been getting a loss of around 35% for the locally produced sweet potato. It has been going to the waste. But now with this brought on board and we are showing more economic value for the sweet potato, we'll be able to extend the shelf life of the locally produced sweet potato. But not only achieving that, we'll also be seeing the incomes earned from the sweet potatoes increasing, which will enhance the livelihoods of the farmers. And how will the consumer benefit? We know that, for example, the orange fresh sweet potato is high in the beta carotenes, but also the soluble fibers in the sweet potato is also high. This enhances the nutritional benefits of these confectionery products, so the consumer will also benefit.
So here is a puree of sweet potato plus water at 40 degrees Celsius degrees. I've put the air locks to prevent, because this fermentation process must happen in the absence of oxygen. So here is a puree with water. To quicken the fermentation process, I've also added malt as a source of an enzyme, which will help in the hydrolysis of the starch into simple sugars. Mainly here is glucose. So here I set up the experiment in different hours until the final hours of 96 for that case. Here is also an example of a puree plus malt as a source of an enzyme to do the hydrolysis of starch into sugars. Then eventually I do the fermentation process. After the fermentation process, I will get my distillate. This is a distillate of the ethanol, which finds many uses both in the industries, sanitizers, and also consumption. It has a good appealing aroma, which may appeal to the regular consumers of the ethanol.
Our product development began with a rapid market survey to find out what kind of products our target consumers. Remember, we are targeting women of reproductive age and children aged under 5. So we asked mothers who are the caretakers of those children what kind of products they would like to produce, us to develop. And they clearly told us a lot of them use porridges. They were interested in nutritious porridges that are also high quality. So as a research team, we decided to go for 2 categories of products. In the porridge category, we have the instant porridge. Instant means that this product, after mixing, is fully cooked. We take it through an extrusion process, which is high temperature, high pressure processing. By the time the product comes out, it is fully cooked. But also any contamination, microorganisms, bacteria that might be in it are destroyed in that process. The resulting product is instant. It means that you don't have to boil it the way that we boil conventional porridge. All you need is hot water to mix this product, and then it is ready to eat. But also we realize there are the people who still cook their porridges. So we also developed another porridge that can be cooked the usual way. So in the porridge category, we have the instant, which is convenient and more safe, but also more tasty. And we also have the conventional, which can be cooked, but still in a short time. It should cook in about 10 to 15 minutes, whereas the instant just needs mixing. In addition, children like snacks. So the age group of children that we're talking about is the type that, eats small finger food. So we also developed fully cooked, really tasty snacks. As you can see them, we have them in the sweet variety, and the sweet can be eaten as snacks, but they can also be eaten as cereal. So this can go into a bowl, and then milk is added, and then that can be eaten as a cereal. But it can also be eaten, as a snack, either sweet or salty. So we have a variety of those to cater for different tastes. The instant porridge looks like this, as you can see, and these are the fully branded product in the Choga brand. And like I said, it can be prepared by just mixing. So you can see the flour. So depending on the size of the cup, we'll put in between 50 and 100 grams of flour. In layperson's language, that's about 3 tablespoons or 5 small teaspoons. So then that is ready, and then we add hot water slowly while mixing. Yeah, so you add hot water and mix. And as you mix, you can, smell the aroma. Yeah. So the process that we developed results in highly acceptable product. You can smell how nice it smells. So depending on preference, some people like their porridge thick, others like it a little bit thin. So we keep mixing until we get to the consistency that we want. And By the way, if you don't want, this can also be fed as baby food, yeah? If you think about Cerelac. So if you're going to feed it as food, then you don't have to add too much water. And so something like this can be eaten by a really young child, 6 months onwards. But it can also be, we can also add more water, and then it is either an eatable or drinkable porridge. So it's a multi-purpose product. It is convenient, it is tasty. This is the kind of product you can use anywhere, while traveling, in hospital where you don't have access to cooking. All you need is hot water. And in 30 seconds to a minute, you have a ready porridge. So this saves fuel, it saves time, it's convenient, it is safe. So it's really, an interesting product. And the technology to do it is here available in Uganda. So we are here in Curad. This is where it was done. And this kind of equipment is now available in Uganda. We also have it in Makerere, even in private sector. So there is very great potential to have a really high value product made in Uganda from Ugandan foods and affordable.
This machine behind me is an extruder. It's the machine that we use to cook the raw materials that you get in the instant porridges, the snacks and the cereals that we are making using sweet potatoes as the key ingredient. We're also including maize, soybeans and amaranth so that we get a complete meal for the baby that's nutritious for them. So what happens is this extruder has 3 ovens. What we've used for the porridges, we've used 80 degrees. The first oven is at 80, then 90, followed by 120 degrees. Then for the snacks, we are starting at 60 degrees onto 120 and then 140. So when it comes out of this machine, you have pellets. And with these pellets, you can either then spice them to make the savory snacks, or you can add the sweetener so that you can have a sweet snack, or you can actually just get the pellets, then mill them and have an instant porridge. So that's what we use this product for, and all the products that come out of here are actually ready to eat, and you don't need to cook them again.
On this side, we have developed instant sweet potato-based infant porridge made using the highest portion is actually sweet potatoes. It is over, this one is 65% and it is the minimum. We have mixed it with fish powder and then eggs. The other one is again sweet potato, 70% with fish powder and then milk. So these are porridges, and they are varied. We are yet to do sensory evaluation on them. We have also developed a meal using the same materials, but here we have not added milk. It's basically sweet potatoes, fish, and then eggs. But different from the porridges, the meal is spiced, knowing that for infants, normally, a food for infants should be, should have some aroma, good aroma that is going to attract or to give them appetite, to attract them. So we decided to add some spices in order to give that, to provide a base for appetite for them. What is so unique about these products, much as it is a porridge, because normal porridges, we know that they are highly full of carbohydrates, but these porridges are different in the sense that they have a high protein content, having been made using fish powder and eggs. The eggs we added here are actually dried eggs, and they are in a concentrated, the protein here was added in a concentrated form. We have not yet done the analysis, but I'm sure when analysis is done, we shall come out at the end of the day with a very high protein, porridge. Of course, we also know that eggs, fish have got a lot of calcium, and phosphorus, which is very critical for bone development in infants. So that was key in actually coming up with those two items, the fish and the eggs, the fish and the milk. We know that milk has, all the proteins in milk are actually of high value. They have a high biological value. So they are responsible for infant growth and of course development. So we expect that if these products can be commercialized, our infants will have a good source of protein, good source of calories. Something I've not mentioned is actually vitamin A, because we are using orange fleshed sweet potatoes and they have a very high vitamin A content. So we have vitamin A, we have protein, we have the calories, because sweet potatoes are full of carbohydrates, and then we have the minerals that are also critical for for the development of infants. Because for us to evaluate whether this product is actually suitable for young ones, we have to use the very people who are going to consume it and also administer it to the kids, and those are the infants, but also the caretakers, who are the mothers. All, sometimes they may not be necessarily the mothers. We have nuns, all maids. You have young ladies that have been working with these kids. So anybody that has worked with kids, we expect that he or she should be able to know and understand that when I give this to my child, he or she will like it. Yeah. And of course, they know responses. They can always tell that this product is not liked by child, the way depending on how the child responds to the product. Yeah.
When you are working on this product, which ratios were you focusing on?
Now, because the project is actually to promote the value addition to sweet potatoes. When you look at my ratios here, sweet potatoes are taking the high content. The list of the content is actually 65% sweet potatoes. Okay, like with this one here, I have 65% sweet potatoes, and then 50% fish and 20% eggs. Okay, so the rest is having 73 and 75% sweet potato flour, because we wanted to maximize the content of sweet potatoes in these products.
And how soon are we getting the product on the market?
This product.
What is the way forward?
Now the way forward, we have not yet done sensor evaluation, which we are actually doing in 2 weeks' time. We should be done with it. Next week and the other week, we should be done with sensor evaluation, and I'm very sure once that one is done, then the product should be ready for market testing. Yeah, because it has to be taken to the market, subjected to the actual consumers, and see whether they actually will take it up. And then from there, I think it should be put to commercial production. Because once the market can accept it, then what else should we wait for?
Between you and me,
yeah.
Africa here, Uganda in particular,
yeah.
people have the mentality of having, I have my potato.
Yeah.
In its full.
Yeah.
That perception, now you handle it.
That I have my potato?
Having it when it is big on the plate.
Yeah, on the plate.
This time you are talking about a meal which is in a sort of powder.
Of course, we cannot have one product in one form. Okay? The other sweet potato peeled and cooked that is one form, and it is normally taken that way because it is fresh. It has its own taste. Now we need to vary the different forms. Okay? Otherwise, if you keep it in one, how many people go for sweet potatoes countrywide? You will find that maybe we have about 50% of the population that will go for the way that sweet potato is. But then there is another portion of the population that will say, me, I want it in porridge form. So you also take advantage of that. And now we are talking of infants, mothers. Now, there is a lot of malnutrition that is going on in this country. And you realize that many kids out there, especially in villages, consume these sweet potatoes. Now, if we can prepare a product that is much more like, because I don't think babies would go for that cooked sweet potato and take it wholesomely without any complaint. I believe they can take it better in a porridge form. And we can also, you have seen others are in snack form. So when we vary, then we have more people actually coming up and enjoying these products. Otherwise, having one form does not promote the selling or the consumption of sweet potatoes. Yeah. And also, before I maybe, you see, when you add value, you are value means adding value is synonymous with it's monetary. Once you have added value, then the cost of that sweet potato is going to go up, and that means more money for the processor, but also more money where the sweet potatoes are sourced, because then the processor is going to buy the sweet potatoes at a higher price, because there is more demand now, because we are no longer eating them only in a fresh form. Yeah. Now, of course, as I said before, these are instant porridges and meals. Like for this instant porridge, you just need to prepare hot water, prepare a few teaspoons of sugar, and then mix in to your taste, and the porridge will be taken there and then. The same thing with our meal. It is already pre-cooked. You only need hot water and mixing to your consistency and taking it in that form.
Actually, our intention is to have a more efficient sweet potato value chain, because like we said, many of the products that we are proposing to produce under this project are probably being made using wheat, which, as many of us probably already know, is imported. Largely because most of the areas in this country will be unsuited for production of wheat. And these high prices of wheat, of course, get transmitted through the value chain, like through the process, because at the end of the day, the consumer has to pay for the price of the raw material as well as the processing cost.
We also did shelf life determination to find out how long these products could keep in the shelves before going bad. These were done scientifically in Makerere University Laboratory, Food Science Laboratory, and other laboratories in Chorati. The next phase will be multiplying the vines of the selected varieties. We need to multiply them because some of these varieties are new. So we have to do vine multiplication and then set up a pilot plant where we are going to test and see that to produce these products before we go into full commercialization of the products.
Very good, unique products. And I have tested these products myself, and they are absolutely awesome. I'll give you an example. This is an instant sweet potato porridge that is good for our infants and even our young children. This product has been tested by kids when we are testing to see if they like it. And I absolutely should tell you that the result from the scientists that have done what we call sensory evaluation of this product with children and even adults, the results have come out very good. When you test this product, be sure you're going to come back for more, because it really is gone through the right science, it's gone through the right procedure, and the sensory evaluation that we have done has given us the optimized, best testing formulations This is what this project has been about. The best testing formulations that can be made from sweet potato to come up with a good instant porridge. The same has been done with the donut flour, composite flour, with the bread composite flour. I have tested the product, and the scientists have tested the product. We've tested the products with consumers, and I promise you, you will not want to eat sweet potato in any other form other than in some of the products that we've made. Same goes for cereals. The tests have been great. You will try it, put your milk in here, give your kids, try yourself. It's going to be wonderful products. When you see Choga brand on your, in the shelf anywhere, try it, you won't regret.
I want to really thank the government through the Ministry of Science and Technology Development that we are now attaching the importance of science. Many people were underrating what science can do. Science can solve a lot of problems. Science is the only way we can have reliable information, because with the science there is no guesswork. We are going to have real time chemical and all the analyses to know how best we can optimize what we have. Our food naturally is tasty. It is now how we are utilizing. It's now how we are combining. Now with that science, we are going to optimize not only the nutritional value, but also the economic value of the products.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Pick of the day on UBC.
If I'm looking at issues of taxation and all that, I will definitely run for the Kateshumbas. Okay? Okay. If I look at, if I'm looking at issues of investments and what, I would definitely run. I would definitely run for Dr. Emure Kugonza and Honorable Omara. Okay? If I'm looking at issues of the law, I will run for our very own people. I have the Oboso Bosses, I have the Katuntus, I have the Robin Arwakojos. So everyone is talented in one way or another.
Did you mention Katuntu?
Okay. Yes.
Is he yours?
Yes, he is.
Yours as in NRM?
He is.
Was brought to you by
Gatawo with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial *165*5*3# to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
Program My School, a great students program and your answer to education perspective, giving you reason as to why you should pay school fees for a child's education, with items like students' talents, thoughts, adventures and skills showcased, leadership skills and all other activities plus concerns in various schools in your locations. Remember that our children are our future generation. Don't miss Program My School.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
إني رأيت الوجه وجه محمد وجه كبدر الليلة البلماء شمس الهدى طلعت لنا من مكة عين الندى نبعت لنا بحراء
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Welcome to a brand new program, The Golden Age of Islam. In this program, we will discuss about the life and character of our beloved master, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In later episodes, we will also look at the exemplary lives of the four rightly guided caliphs of Islam. Now, a plethora of books have been written about the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and also about Islamic history. So it is impossible to cover all of them in this program. But primarily, we will base our sources on two very important books. Number one, Life of Muhammad by Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad, the second head of the Ahmadi Muslim community, radiyallahu anhu, and Sirat Khatam al-Nabiyyin, Life and Character of the Seed of the Prophets by Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad, radiyallahu anhu. Now, about this book, the Sirat Khatam al-Nabiyyin, Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad himself says that, and I quote, "I believe that of all the biographies that have been written about the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this book is the best from among them." That's no small accolade. Now, for this program, joining me in the studio will be Ayaz Mahmood Khan Sahib, who is a missionary of the Ahmadi Muslim community serving in the additional Vakalat-e-Tasneef department. And also with us on Skype will be Adam Walker Sahib, who is serving as the director of MTA Online. Gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. A very warm welcome to both of you. Thank you for joining us on this program. Without any further delay, we will go straight into it. As most people would say, the beginning of Islam